you under the water. Tendered over to Grand Cayman. Hasn't changed since we were here a few weeks back. Got the Hard Rock over there, Sharkies, lots of traffic. And we're waiting for we got about 30 minutes before our snorkeling excursion leaves. It's so hot here today. It'll be nice to get in the water. After a long walk, we're finally here. Divers down. Snorkel. Looks like this is our snorkel boat right here. Cayman diving. Another ship joining us, a Royal Caribbean.
Checking out 2 reef spots today, so those will be 2 spots that we'll check out for at least 20 minutes at each one. Here in the middle area, or before we get on our way out to the first site, we're going to be handing out equipment to you. And then before we get into the water, we'll go over that equipment so you're a little more familiar with it, all right? There's some tricks and tips to some of it. In the middle area here, there is a restroom. If it does not go through you, it does not go down our toilet, all right? So all the paper products or any other products go into the garbage can that's underneath the sink. It's a little bucket there, all right? And then there's also an orange jug here with water in it. Feel free to fill up your water bottles with it, and the cups are behind it. They're hiding away so they don't blow away, all right? Try to reuse that cup as much as you can, but once you're done with it, make sure it ends up in that trash can so it doesn't end up in the ocean. Any questions before we head out? Nope. All right, it's about a 5-minute boat ride. It's a very slow 5 minutes. With it? All right, so we'll talk about the snorkel first. This is how you're going to be able to breathe while you're face down in the water, seeing all the cool stuff. And you got this mouthpiece here. There's little tabs on this mouthpiece. Those are called bite-on tabs, all right? Not bite-off or chew tabs or anything like that, so please leave them on the snorkel, all right? You just bite your teeth or set your teeth on there so you have a nice secure hold of the snorkel in your mouth. Then there's this little edge here where you want you to wrap your lips around that so you create a good seal to be able to breathe through. So it looks something like this. Now, using the snorkel, you're going to end up with water inside of it. So the best way to get that water out is if you have air in your lungs, just do a quick burst of air through that snorkel, and it'll expel all the water out, and then you should be able to breathe through the snorkel again. But if that's not working for you, or you happen to not have air in your lungs, you can always just go vertical in the water again, take the snorkel out of your mouth, and then just dump that water out, or whatever way works best for you. You can put the snorkel on the right or left side, it does not matter, whatever side you prefer it on, that's where it belongs, all right? Any questions on the snorkel? Nope, all good? All right. Now we'll talk about the mask. To size these masks to your face, I recommend loosening them all the way, and that's just pulling up on the plastic tab on the side, and then pull out on the main strap until you have it nice and loose. Then take that mask, place it on your face, and then pull the strap over your head. Once, make sure the strap is in the upper back part of your head and above your ears, all right? Once you're there, then pull on the little free tabs on the side there. Do 2 to 3 clicks at a time until you have a nice, comfortable fit. Some people think if they just crank the mask tight, that's going to stop all the leaking. Actually, having the mask too tight can cause more leaking too. All right, so you're just trying to find a perfect balance between tight and too tight on your face. All right. You still want to pull the mask away from your face, but you don't want it falling off while you're out in the water. All right. Now, the mask is to create a good seal. Also, make sure the hair on your forehead is out of the way. It's not in the skirt or any hair in the skirt. But unfortunately, men with mustaches, or stubble, you're gonna probably end up with a little pool of water there in the nose pocket area. So all the fish here have
Cheeseburger Reef in Grand Cayman.
All right, so in this area, you're gonna have a nice shallow reef over here that's about 5 to 7 feet just below the surface. But in between all the coral, there could be sand areas that are about 30 feet deep, all right? Over off the far end, or just a little bit over this way, not near that buoy, not even close to that where that boat is tied off to that mooring. It's way before that, about halfway from the bus to there. There's a wall where the reef's nice and shallow and drops off to a bunch of sand. Feel free to check that area out, but just don't go any farther out right past that, all right? There's not much to see anyways. It'll just be a lot more sand that you'll see out that way. Over this way, just don't really get close to that boat at the moment. He'll be leaving very shortly, but the mooring on there, please do not go any farther over that way past that mooring. And then this direction, don't really go past 2 to 3 boat lengths of this boat off that way, all right? But most of your good snorkeling is over actually in this area. Kind of all right. In the water, you're going to see a big fish that could be as big as me, but most of the time I only see them about 3 to 4 feet tall, or long. I mean, they have big googly eyes. They're silver, and you can see the scales on them really well. They're called tarpon, all right? They're not sharks. They don't even have teeth. They might gum you to death. It hasn't happened yet, but you know, it's the first time for everything. And if you do see a shark today, consider yourself lucky, and most likely it's going to be a nurse shark, all right? And they're practically just a stingray kind of shark, basically. They're not going to hurt you. They're not aggressive or anything like that. And one other fish that they're feeding them on that tour right now, they come around, they're a gray fish. There's a school of them out there. Sometimes they nibble at people, but they just think you have food, but it more scares you. It doesn't hurt. It's more just kind of a surprise. But they're not piranhas trying to eat you, okay? They're just called Bermuda chubs, all right? They're just a cool fish to see, all right? And then other than that, you're going to see lots of colorful coral fish and all that. And then the coral. Please do not touch it because it's sensitive to us touching it, and then it can also hurt you back because some of it has stinging cells and then some of it is pretty sharp, all right? lot of red algae growing on the entrance of it and throughout the entire tunnel, so it looks like you're going through like the gates of hell or something like that, and that's why they call it Devil's Grotto. And then also the family that started the dive center here, is their last name's Eden. So this is Eden Rock over this way because it's a like really pristine reef, but the whole reef is really pristine. They just named two different spots. But we're going to be hanging out on Devil's Grotto more. I find it a little better, a little more fishier too. That area, it's kind of the same as where we were over there. You'll see really shallow areas and then really deep areas and all that. But out this way, please do not pass that red and white buoy out there, all right? If you're any farther out on that, yeah, please do not go out there, all right? In this area, please don't try to find yourself between the boat and the shoreline, but on the sides, 2 to 3 boat lengths out, all right? If that mooring over there is about your limit over that direction, and then over this way, it'll just be the 2 to 3 boat lengths, all right? We'll use an air horn if you get too far or anything like that. And don't worry, most of the time I'm air horning you where you're like at the limit, all right? So if you're there, just stop there, just don't keep swimming out or anything like that. But yeah, feel free to check out all the cool stuff. Once again, please don't touch the reef. It is sensitive to us touching it. And then there's plenty of fish again, just like the last spot. This is normally a little fishier.
fish here that they're filleting. Boat must have just come in.
Fresh red snapper.
Looks like red snapper. And right here people are swimming off the beach, public beach, right near the port. If you ever want to go swimming in Grand Cayman and you don't want to pay for it, you just walk a little ways from the ship and there's a little free beach here. So yeah, we might do that sometime. A picnic table there for Rick to sit at while I snorkel. Glass class. Somebody has paid to make a glass object and they're teaching her how. Things that they teach you how to make.
What's going on? Now stay where you are at the end of the show tonight. I've got some stuff to tell you because we're having a big deck party, an outside party tonight, starting straight after this show. And I want to tell you some information. It'll only be a couple of minutes at the end of the show. You stick around, will you do that for me? Now, I'll take that silence as a yes. We have a great show for you tonight, as we do every night. Did you enjoy the show last night? Wasn't that incredible? It's world-class entertainment every single night. And we have something that's dear to my heart, comedy, magic. You're absolutely gonna love this show. Tonight's entertainer was on Penn and Teller, Fuller. It's gonna get a ooh. Are you ready for a show? Yeah. All right, have a look at this.
Who is Denny Corby?
Denny Corby, a magician and comedian.
I grew up in Scranton and I thought for years I was going to run my family's cable supply business. You guys have had an absolutely phenomenal quarter. Everyone's doing a great job except for Johnny. You've got to be kidding. I don't know how you explain this. I have no idea how he did this. Denny Corby. Magic. Have you had a burger in Vegas? That's nothing. Break it down. Chicken is $14.
Danny, boy, really nice, and also your interaction with George Wallace is wonderful.
We're in Jimcourt, Pennsylvania, doing a magic show with like 500 people. Okay, like 450, but.
That's impressive.
I'm pretty sorry.
Oh my gosh! Are you gonna tell us how you did that?
No.
Please welcome to Tasting Magic with Denny Corby.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Denny Corby!
Celebrity Equinox, how we all feeling?